Alyssa's become an important part of our community, donating a lot of her time tutoring young students and assisting them to lead active, healthy lives through students helping others. Her engaging personality, work ethic, dedication, and passion for helping others makes Alyssa a joy to know and very rewarding to teach. Thank you.
I'd like to say thank you to all of my teachers for giving me the opportunity to be a part of many different social studies classes and also making me be enthusiastic about social studies as a whole. And I'd like to thank Mr. Pierce for being my AP European teacher this year. Thank you.
We're going to do the Superintendent's Awards next, and then we'll do the Veterans Awards? All right, very good. I would like to call up Joseph Gillen from our Guidance Department and our recipients, Alyssa and Natalie.
Once again, I'd like to thank you for giving us the opportunity to introduce you to two of Methuen High School's finest. First, I'd like to say a few words about Alyssa. I had some really great lines here. Unfortunately, Roger Lenfest stole every one of them. Alyssa Farnkopf has been identified for a certificate of academic excellence. She is, as you heard, a grade point average of 4.61. It currently ranks second in a class of 443 students. Since she entered Methuen High School, she's challenged herself by taking every difficult course this school has to offer. And she's worked tirelessly to earn top marks across the board. She's enrolled in 4 advanced placement courses, and as well as honors Spanish 4. She is a National Honor Society member who plans to study biology, and she is also considering a pre-med track with an interest in neuroscience and psychology. Beyond the classroom, Alyssa is involved in various school activities, all of which involve providing service to and assisting others. Notably, she is a regular participant in the Relay for Life, an event she has dedicated herself to since grade 5. She is also a varsity athlete on the field hockey team, a sport that she has played for the past 2 years. Overall, Alyssa is a passionate student with a bright future ahead. She, without a doubt, will succeed in anything she applies her mind and heart to. The list of schools that she is considering include, but are not limited to, Boston University, Boston College, Brandeis University, and Northeastern University. Ladies and gentlemen, Alyssa Farnkopf.
Thank you. Congratulations, sweetheart. I'd love to say a few words. Go right ahead. You can speak again.
would just like to say thank you to all of my teachers, thank you to Mr. Gillen, and thank you for everybody who's given me the opportunity to be a part of all of these classes. It means a lot to me. Thank you.
Thank you, honey.
Natalie Perry is ranked first in the class of 443 students, an honor she earned by excelling in every class across the curriculum. Natalie has challenged herself by taking our most rigorous courses, and she has been selected as a member of the National Honor Society, the National Art Honor Society, and the Spanish Honor Society. She is also a recipient of the prestigious Harvard Book Award, as well as many other academic recognitions. You okay? Good. Natalie is an immensely talented young woman. She's the leader of our school community in areas such as the Relay for Life, Interact Club, the Green Club, and Best Buddies. She is a tireless tutor to many of our students here at the school. Perhaps the greatest indicator of her generosity of spirit is her willingness to use her own time to go on service trips to places like the Dominican Republic and Costa Rica to work with those who are less fortunate and to make their lives better. The academic record of Natalie Perry is an ample testimony to her high degree of intelligence. The record of service done in a humble way for the benefit of others demonstrates her degree of humanity. Natalie Perry is an outstanding student. She is an even better person. Natalie intends to major in engineering in college and lists Johns Hopkins, Rice University, and Cornell University among her possible choices. Ladies and gentlemen, Natalie Perry.
I'd just like to thank the school for the incredible education that I've received, and I'll take that with me to college and then beyond in my career and throughout my life. Thank you.
Thank you. Two very incredible young ladies, and we're all very proud of you. You just make us shine, and congratulations to the parents. Again, wonderful young ladies. Thank you. Yes.
Get a picture of everybody there too as well.
Next, we're going to have the fourth annual Veterans Day poster contest winners. And it was done through our veterans agent, Tom Hargraves, who's here this evening as well. They went through a group of individuals who chose the winners in different categories. They represent grades K through 2, grades 3 through 5, and grades 6 through 8. There was a first prize, and there was also a runner-up prize as well. So, Tom, we also have some citations for them as well. Why don't you announce the first couple, please?
Mayor Zani, Superintendent Scannell, members of the board, thank you very much. As the mayor has indicated, this was the 4th year we've done this. Last year, we didn't get too many posters. This year, we got 172.
That's fabulous.
That allowed us to put it out not only in City Hall, but all the schools that participated, the library, and the Senior Activity Center. So the students' work has been out before the public in no particular order, other than with the winning ones are kept at City Hall, just so we could have them here this evening for the children. As the mayor's indicated, we did change this year a bit. We went to 3 categories versus the 2 that we had before, make it a little fairer, especially for the younger students. So I'd like to call up the first prize winner in the K through 2, and that is Mackenzie Lashy. The title of her poster was The Hero. She was in grade 1 at the CGS. Her teacher is Mrs. Gurton.
Tom, we're going to do pictures after each.
Honey,
we see
turn
the
around the
poster?
picture so we can see it. We'd love to see it. Mayor, can we take a peek at that too?
I'm afraid to ask again. I'll get in trouble.
Here's the citation for you. This is from the city to you, winning first prize in the K through 2 age group in the City of Methuen's annual Veterans Day poster contest for entry hero. Your outwork and understanding of the importance of veterans in our society is appreciated by all the residents here in Methuen, so we thank you.
Mrs. Burton here? I know, Principal Lee, come on up. They're so proud of you. Excellent. We need you back.
Great, congratulations.
Very nice.
Runner-up in that category, and actually, I know how to say this child's last name because this is one of my neighbor's grandson, is Nathan Rooks. The title of his roster poster was Honoring Our Veterans. It was done in class in first grade at the Tenney, and he's in grade 1. He's 7 years old, and his teacher is Jennifer Ada. So is Nathan and his family here.
Nathan, also a citation from the city for what you've done, and again, honoring our veterans. Very, very important. So congratulations to you. You want to show that to
The next category was grades 3 through 5. The first place in that category was Evan Lugli. And the title of his poster was Honoring My Grandfathers. He's in grade 5 at the Marsh School. His teacher is Mrs. Robert. I believe this one is yours. You can see the state of judging thoughts.
I want to show the school committee that mentioned the fact they didn't see it either, so.
Very nice.
Can I call Principal Marino and Principal Sabina in the photo? And wonderful teacher.
Just trying to hide.
The runner-up in that category was Michelle Dela Cruz. Her was entitled Respect to Our Veterans. She's in the 3rd grade at the Tenney School. Her teacher is Mrs. West. Is Michelle with us tonight? Very good.
Show the school committee.
Very nice.
Doing a great job, man.
Great, thanks.
Okay, our last category was grades 6 through 8. The first place there was Mary Rose Mosquito. The title of her poster was We Love Our Soldiers. She's in the 6th grade at the Tenney. Teacher was Mrs. Magnan.
Great job.
The last poster we have, the runner-up, was actually a combined effort by two students. The title was "We Salute You." They're from grade 6 in the Marsh School. The teacher is Mr. Bateman. And the runners-up are Catherine Dellup and Natasha Moda. As you can see, that made our judging a little difficult this year. And that's the reason we asked for the names and everything to be on the back. We don't look at the backs until we make a decision. So that, there's nothing that leads us one way or another, if you will, okay? It's based on initially following the theme, which this year was honoring our veterans, past, present, and future. What they use, the creativity, the spelling, in a lot of cases, we look at that. We want it to be an entire educational process for us. I do have some thank yous. Jen Myers from Mayor Zani's office, Lisa Desjardins, an art teacher at the Temini, is it?
Correct.
Temini School, and Dottie Avery, my secretary, and myself. We're actually the judging committee. This year, it took us over 2.5 hours to go through all of this, so we try to be as fair as we could to every student. Wish we could give every student something, but I think it's just great the way these students have gotten involved with Veterans Day, and 172 pictures approved.
Delighted.
So I thank the school committee, Superintendent Scannell, and Mayor Zani in particular for their support on this again this year.
Well,
Thank you very much.
Tom, we thank you as a veteran agent here in the city, putting this together along with the school department. I think it shows what we're currently doing in our schools, and I think it's a great testament to what's going on here. With that said, some of you people, you're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting. If you'd like to leave, we can take a minute break. For those that don't want to stay, you're welcome to leave. So we're going to take a 2-minute recess at this point.
The first game was the annual Powder Puff game that took place the week of Thanksgiving. The game was won by the ladies of the junior class. The other recent big game played was the Turkey Day game. MHS defeated the Middies by a whopping 42-6. The Rangers have now beaten Drake-It in the last 8 times we faced them. Go Rangers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have, anyone would like to speak? We have public participation at this point. Does anybody would like to speak on any issue? We have, is there anybody else? Just a blank piece of paper? Oh, okay. Thank you.
Sir.
Staff? Nothing from staff. Next, we have our approval of the minutes of October 26th.
I'll make them, you want to do both, or you want to
We're going to do them separately, yes.
Okay. Move to adopt the minutes of October 26th.
Motion been made to adopt the minutes of October 26th. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, unanimously voted. Next, we have the minutes. I'm going backwards here. From the 26th, I'm going back to the 13th. October 13th, for approval.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Motion been made and second to adopt the minutes of October 13th. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimously voted. Is there another one? I think there's one more. That's it, right? Good. Okay, next one, the staff reports. Superintendent's monthly report. Madam Superintendent?
Thank you. This evening, within your packet, covers the entire month of December, and as you can see, it's been very busy throughout the school district. I would like to point out one very important date this coming January. January 11th will be our first school committee meeting with our new committee members. So that's a very important piece to point out. And also, this Wednesday evening at Methuen Organ Hall is our annual chorus performance, and it's a beautiful evening that is well attended by all throughout the district. And if you have any questions, I'm here for you.
Anyone have any questions of Superintendent on the Superintendent's report? None? Moving on, Instructional Technology Monthly Report. Anyone have any questions on that? Lynn?
Thank you. Just a quick question. I don't need
Sure.
an answer tonight. I understand that last paragraph you see on the page 2 of the memo, members, when Ed talks about IPASS. And I know there's a subcommittee created, and that's terrific. And if there's any timeline or additional details that he can share maybe in the next report, that'd be
Sure.
great. But
Okay.
I'm really happy to hear that that's moving forward. And I'm sure I speak with committee and the future committee, we're going to be very supportive of its recommendations. Thank you.
Anyone else? Next, we have Facilities and Grounds Monthly Update. Anyone have any questions on that?
Yeah, I hope you didn't jinx us. Did you read it? It's talking about how bad the weather was last year.
Let's not go there. Although we bought it up, we have all new equipment this year for the city. We've
That's
loaned it out,
always.
so hopefully it's going to be good. Hopefully that's what we got, so it won't happen. Physical Education Report, Wellness Monthly Update. Anybody have any questions on that? Yes, Jana.
I'd just like to, again, thank Mr. Osgood for his presentation. It was very well done, and I had spoken to him at the presentation about possibly getting that up on our website for folks that missed it. And so if you could just update us when that happens, that would be great.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have the Residency Monthly Update. Anybody have any questions on that? The only thing I'd ask for, Madam Superintendent, if we can, I know it's a lot of work to do, but what grades, it says, for example, comprehensive exam is 4, just like know what, next time, if there's 4 from each school, just what grades are they in, so we can start to follow where they're.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
I just had a quick question
Yes,
as
go
well.
ahead.
And I do really appreciate this, as others do, this update. In terms of when we see that, you know, the investigation shows that there were families that were living outside of Methuen, again, is there a certain goal, once a student is identified as not living in Methuen? Again, I know that we're trying to just be as comfortable and respectful as possible. But, you know, is there a certain goal your team has in terms of, if you could just speak to that, to
Sure,
understand if we notice in November, you know, how soon are they removed from school? How does that work?
We give them, when we absolutely know, and we have the information in black and white, they are given 1 week
So it's,
for their child to transfer.
and you find that
Yes,
does that
yes.
seem to happen?
Mhm,
Okay, great.
Absolutely.
Again, thank you. I really appreciate the report.
Anyone else? School Resource Office Report. Anyone have any questions on that? Okay, moving on to, on the old business, the Physical Restraint Policy and Procedure. This is second read for adoption. You have that before you.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Motion made second to adopt the restraint policy and procedures for a second read. Any discussion? Anyone have any questions? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimously voted. Next, we have the spring testing update,
No,
No, 6A. There's a-
or revised
We have a
adoption,
first read.
selection policy for media resource, excuse me. It's a first read only. Is there a
Motion to approve? Second.
Motion to approve for first read, the selection policy for media resources and materials. Any discussion on that? We have to the next meeting, of course, to digest some of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a lot.
Motion's made and seconded for first read. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Yes, we voted. Now we have the spring testing update. Madam Superintendent.
Thank you. I am happy to report to our school committee that the decision has been made to continue this spring with MCAS.
Good.
We spent the last 5 weeks struggling. Leadership had quite a bit to add to the discussion throughout the district. I spoke with many superintendents throughout the state. Bottom line, the majority, and I would say to you, we're talking 99% of the districts that took MCAS last year are sticking with MCAS this spring. I do want to say to all of you, what really pushed me towards the MCAS to really commit to that, all of our data and everything that we have been working on for the last 8 years, with our improvement plans district-wide and school building, speaks to the hard work, and our results this past round showed the growth that we have been looking for, and I feel it's in the best interest of the students of Methuen Public Schools to continue with MCAS this spring.
Anybody have any questions or comments to the superintendent? Len?
Yeah, as a parent and a member, I'm really happy to hear that. I think you just hit it right on the head about how all our plans have been based on the data, and as I'm sure Brenda will be talking about next, we'll see the fruits of that analysis. And like I said, I'm glad to hear that, again, it doesn't matter what other districts are doing. You're doing what's best for our students.
Correct.
And my question would be, and I know it sounds like it's a constantly changing plan from the state.
It is.
I know we'll do it for next year, and then are they already looking at what happens beyond that in terms of, when in the spring, this will be a paper test still, since it's
Correct.
MCAS, correct? But
Correct.
are you getting any guidelines to what's in 2017 and how we need to plan for that? And
Not-
again,
there are
I don't expect
sure,
details tonight.
But just so you'll know, there are no guidelines as of right now, and yes, things change hour by hour. But we will be prepared for the change, and it will give us that time to do our investigating and start preparing our staff with PD and getting our students ready.
Thank you. All set.
Anyone else? Okay. I think we all concur, by not saying, I think we all concur with the superintendent that this is the direction I know this school committee, from a policy perspective, wants to move in on. And one of the things I mentioned, I think we all feel the same way, and I think Lynn, you hit upon it, that this has been going on, at least while we've been here for 4 years, with the initiatives put into place. And this year came within 1 point, believe it or not, of getting into the level we want to be. So we're very, very close. And the thing that I think is important is that with 217 even rolls around, we don't know what that's going to be either. So here we move forward, and hopefully at the next testing point, which we're all here for, we have that, and that's now instituted into our overall standards. So I think that's important as we move forward. And I thank the superintendent. It was with the superintendent and assistant superintendent, it was a hard decision to make. They had to go over a lot of different things. So I appreciate us still moving in a direction that's good for the system. And I know, I'm sure DJ speaks the same thing. But go ahead, DJ.
Thank you, Mayor. Through you, I just want to echo what you said and what Lynn said. I think it is the right thing to continue with MCAS, the reasons that have already been articulated. And I know we had some extensive discussions on the future direction at our last workshop meeting. And as the superintendent just told us, it seems to change hour by hour, so we don't really know what's going to happen in 2017 and after. And I'm not looking to get into that discussion tonight, although I'm sure we're going to have a lot more discussions in the months ahead. But I just wanted to ask, I know several of us signed on to your letter a few months ago to Governor Baker. Did you ever get a response on the letter to retain MCAS?
I didn't get a response, but I did, last Monday I was in Boston with the thing, with the governor, and he's received a number of letters, which he hasn't responded to yet. And the concern, so we're just not going over this one over, but the concern is right now, if you're looking what's going on politically, there's also a bill, and I mentioned this already, the bill was passed, as you know, in the Senate to do away with Common Core. So there's a lot of things that are going to come down the pike that nobody is aware of yet. But I think the governor, number one, served when they developed MCAS, which he solely believed in. And I think they were looking at tweaking between MCAS and PARC initially, and now there's kind of a little bit of a hold on everything. So I don't think they're still sure of the direction we're taking, but I have not received the answer it succinctly. I didn't really receive a letter back, but I will push it again, so we get something, probably in writing. Some good point, DJ.
Great, thank you, Mayor.
Next, we have the anybody else on that topic? Anybody have any questions on the accountability update? Okay. Bob?
Well, I was just gonna say, looking at the, you're talking about this level here, this chart. Okay, thank you. I think we've made great, as the mayor said, we've made some very good strides. And I think from the committee's point of view, and parents, I hope, we should commend our staff and our administrators and our students for the hard work they have all done. It is a team effort. And, you know, the high school reached 75 points. You look at the numbers and the jump at the CGS, and especially at the Marsh, and the schools, Timony, Tenney, and everything. So I think, you know, to be 1 point away from being a complete level 2 is good news, and I know I had a long discussion with the principal. He's determined to make it a level 2, and if not better, a level 1 high school, and I think we can achieve that. I think there are things that this committee has put into place with the administration's recommendation, and they're doing that haven't been done before, and hopefully this spring, and we'll see the fruition of those. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Yes, Jana.
Briefly, thank you, Mayor. Just to echo and go a little bit further on what Bob said, you know, we spend a lot of time looking at the end results, and I know I had the opportunity to voice this earlier, but I just want to say again that this is the result of all of the hard work of our teachers every single day in the classrooms, and we're just so appreciative of the hard work that they've done to make this happen, because these jumps are very impressive, and I'm just so happy when I see this information, because it shows that our students are getting what they need. So our teachers are doing a fine job.
Good. Anyone else?
I'd just like to give Dr. Kwong a moment, if she just wanted to hit any highlights of this memo, if there was anything you'd like to add. Thank you.
Without breaking anything. So the most important thing here is that I really wanted you guys to see the trend over 4 years. I think that was what stood out for us when we were looking at this. It's different when you talk about numbers than when you put it all together and see it all together, that really our 2015 scores, mostly in the all students and high needs categories, were closer than we've ever been to that level 1 status, which we would love to have, and we are striving for, of course. And our high school, I cannot say enough about the growth that our high school made in all categories. I've never seen the kind of scores that the high school had, and the extra credit they got and everything else. So, you know, kudos to them, and I know that there's a lot of things we've put in place there to support the kids at the high school, and I think we all agree that those things are absolutely working, and we're seeing that happening now. So we're thrilled with the progress we've made, and we're excited for next year to see the kids continuing to make that progress in the high school to continue upwards.
Thank you. Okay, next we have on the finance and operations, we have the expenditure report. Anyone have a question on that? Yes.
Ian, just a quick one regarding the contractual.
Yep.
I'm seeing the
This is-
negative. I thought I had another. one.
Those are out-of-placement tuitions, which we'll be getting circuit breaker quarterly.
Okay.
This past month, we just transferred about $454,000 in expenses
So you're on it,
from our budget to circuit breaker. So that number's actually looking better than it did last month.
Okay.
And as the next payment comes in, it'll look even better.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Next, we have the revolving funds report. Anyone have any questions on that? And the Methuen High School auditorium update. You have an update on that? Yes.
Just a quick question, Ian. In terms of, what are you doing in terms of marketing the auditorium or advertising? I kind of wrote it down, you know, have we put anything on the website in terms of, you know, anything? I just don't know if it's able.
There
It
is
just-
stuff, and we're looking at developing a whole website. We're actually looking at some software for all our facilities, for rental and use, and have the ability to have their own websites off of it. So the auditorium, the Tenney Auditorium, the Performing Arts Center here
Okay.
will also have their own.
Just, I mean, yeah, even
Should-
just as simple as a flyer and then something that
Yeah.
other people could
But-
share on social
But
media.
just if I just add to what Lynn was saying is this, Lynn, you're aware or not, but we have a lot of people contacting the high school now for different performance, dance groups and everything, because want you to know,
Great.
Merrimack College in the Collins Center now
Yeah.
doing away with it.
Right.
So it's very important for us, yes, we want to have people coming in, but we want to be careful of who comes in and how it's going to be used. What we don't
Sure.
want to see is, like these places, 10 years down the road, we have a
No.
place. So I think they're looking into that, it's a good part, and they're looking at the groups that are coming. I know we had the Nutcracker, we had Shrek coming up over 3 days, and we have some dance groups coming in, so it is being utilized, but I think they're looking at it from that aspect too. So,
And as far as the revenue from the Nutcracker, they have been invoiced, and we should be getting that check
That's great.
any minute. So you'll probably see that next month in the
Yeah.
revenue line.
And thank you to Karen.
anyone on grants report? Do you have any questions on grants? Student activity accounts? Do you have any questions on that? Food services, I know we're in the black, he's like over 30,000, he's gonna try to maintain that for the year. As long as
Absolutely.
Bob stays out of the kitchen, he'll be all right.
Oh, I heard that.
You did,
It just dawned on me.
I thought you would hear that. The bid awards, we have here the snow plowing removal service approval.
Move to approve the snow plowing bid to Frank DeLucia and Son, Inc.
Yep.
And as a note, I believe the bid comes from the city. So the city, and we participated with the city in this bid.
Correct.
So it's
Motion's been made, a second, to approve the snow plowing removal services for this year. Any questions? DJ?
Just one question, Mayor, through you. This is not the person we used last year, correct?
The same one.
It is the same person?
Yes.
Okay.
There was,
And-
last year's conversation was based around how do we go to the hourly rate and everything, do we go out with that? That was kind of a conversation. And he's not a local, but he has been the low bidder in the group, too.
Okay. So, how many bids were there total?
There were three, they took the three bids.
So
and
we
they
had,
took the-
we had three,
Yeah.
okay. All right, thank you.
Motion's been made, second for that approval, right? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimously voted. We don't have any contract approvals, I believe? No. Budget transfers, we have none. Personnel transactions, we have none. Professional staff,
No, we have a personnel,
we have personnel staff.
yeah,
Never report.
appointment.
But I'm not, still in the first part, I'm not there.
Oh,
Professional.
I'm sorry, I thought you
I'm at
went
the
over
last one, and
to.
that's your- I know you're a fast reader, but that's all right.
Okay,
Thank you. Next, we have support staff. There are none on that. Personal matters requiring committee action. This is the appointment of school committee member to fill a vacancy for approval. I'm going to ask DJ Dee, school committee, if we would leave the room for a minute.
One of those vacant rooms, this 11th.
don't fall asleep.
And quickly, this is a charter, so everybody understands. I don't know if I explained, some of you I spoke to individually, but just to let you understand, it's a charter And what the charter reads is that if someone leaves, there's a 21-day appointment. However, rather than waiting until January, the individual has resigned from the school committee as of November 30th, which when January rolls around, his name would not come up. Therefore, the appointment would not be made due to the fact that he had resigned by November 30th. If you look at the window from November 30th, which he resigned, looking up to the present, that 21-day appointment will be made now by this committee, which he will actually serve out. So when January 3rd rolls around, which is the inauguration date, DJD will be sworn in as a full member of the school committee for the next 2 years. And I think he served the committee well, and I think it's the best way to do this. I'm also looking, I talked to 2 of our lawyers, we're looking at a possible charter review of a couple of areas with this. This is not the only one. There's a couple of other areas that we've looked at, so there may be some revisions coming up with that. In the past, if you recall, Rick Bishara, Debbie Quinn, Mark Graziano, if you recall, they all started their term and then resigned from the committee. And that's why the appointment in one case was with Bob, I believe, and the other ones were with Jana. So that's how that was the appointment process. In this case, the individual is not coming on board in January. So we need a motion to appoint DJD for the 21-day appointment.
Move to appoint Mr. Deebs to fill the vacancy that was created by a resignation, and since he was next on the electoral list.
Correct. Motion made and second. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Yes, we voted. He can come back? We would. Yeah, he would have no vote. He wouldn't even be there. He's good. It's just, he's off of that vote altogether.
Oh, you should bring it up now.
Huh?
You want to do
Good. Notification. Not there yet, not to the end. Superintendent's report communication. We have building committee by Bob.
We haven't met yet, and the mayor may know when we'll meet, I don't know, but we'll probably be closing it out within the next 2 months.
Next 2 months. What has happened, there is one bill that we're going back and forth with the tot lot. If you recall, the tot lot had caved in. In turn, they came back and repaired it a second time. However, the first bill, they wanted to get paid twice, so that's where we're in contention of $63,000. So we're looking at, yes, we're going to pay it, but if it goes again, we'd have to come back a third time. So it looks like we're working that out. And I think everything else is pretty well set. We're looking to close out. We have the budget. We're still in good shape with the budget, but we're looking for January to have a meeting and then closing out the entire project. So that's where we are with that. The other thing I might mention to you too, the entire sports complex is complete. We'll have a ceremony beginning of January, right after the holidays, for opening up the brand-new clubhouse as well. So people will be able to do it. We're going to do something for that as well. So that's where we stand with our building, I think. Anything, chargebacks, I think we'll put that off, correct? And DJ, any review on anything on the...
Mayor, just on the policy, we did look at 2 policies tonight. We had a first reading on one, second reading on the other. I believe Doty is still working on compiling the updated book for us as well, so hopefully we'll have that coming up soon. And other than that, that's all I have at this time. Thank you.
I'd like to, before we adjourn, Mary Jean Fawcett has served on our committee, as you know, for 4 years. Again, these are thankless jobs. A lot of time and effort is put in, serving on different committees, along with DJ and some of the others, with some of the stuff they've done over the course of these 4 years. So we all thank Mary Jean for your not only work, but being a volunteer, really, in a lot of things we do here in our community. But if we could, I'd like to turn it over to Madam Superintendent for a moment.
Thank you very much. We have a few citations that I would like to read for Mrs. Fawcett. The first is Methuen Public Schools, School Committee. The Methuen Public School System and School Committee take this opportunity to recognize Mary Jean Fawcett for 4 years of service as a school committee member. Your outstanding service, thank you, honey. Your outstanding service and efforts on behalf of Methuen students is deeply appreciated. Signed, Judith A. Scannell, Superintendent of Schools, Methuen School Committee, Honorable Stephen N. Zani, DJ Deeb, Jana D. Natale, Lynn Hajakum, Robert F. Vogler, December 14th, 2015. Also, a citation from the State Senate. Be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to Mary Jean Fawcett for 4 years of hard work and dedication to the students of Methuen Public Schools. Signed, Kathleen O'Connor Ives. And we have a citation from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the House of Representatives. Be it hereby known to all, the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Mary Jean Fawcett in recognition of your outstanding service to our students and city as a member of the Methuen School Committee. And also, we have a parting gift, if you would like to come over.
No, that's
It's like the leg lamp in Christmas story.
I know.
Don't break it.
But you can just look at the base. I hope you like this.
It's a note from Mom.
Oh, my goodness.
Flag of the high school. We want to put the flag. You talking about the stadium?
Thank you very much. This
Oh,
is,
I'm looking at another, we're doing one for the.
I suppose I should say something.
Yes. Down there by the
Thank you. Congratulations, Mary Jean.
May I just say
Of
a
course.
word?
Make
Just,
sure your mic's on.
it is, the light. She's not going to yell at me. This is so not me, like I'm usually pretty quiet, so this is a little overwhelming. It has been a privilege to serve with my colleagues on this committee and work with the superintendent and her staff. And I think that I learned a lot in 4 years. I kind of thought I knew a lot when I got here, and I learned a lot more after I've been here for 4 years. And I also, sometimes we come to this group with different ideas, and we come from different angles, but everyone on this committee and the community needs to know, makes their decisions based on what's in the best interest of the kids in this district, and it's been an honor and a privilege to serve with you. Thank you.
Thank you. And it's been an honor to work with you, and what will always, always stick with me, you represented what's best for all students, and I sincerely appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. DJ?
Thank you, Mayor. Through you, I just want to echo what the superintendent said. It has been an honor to work with Mary Jean. I've learned a great deal from her over the last couple of years on the committee, and she's just been a phenomenal asset. We're going to miss her, but I wish her the best of luck. Thank you.
Bob?
I just wanted to echo those statements and say I've known her for over 30-plus years that I've been here, and she made a seamless transition, I think, from an administrator who went into retirement and to the school committee. Sometimes you wear different hats, but her goal was always, from the day she started teaching, and she worked at the CGS over to the other schools, for the kids. And, you know, I think the town can be proud of that fact, and she's done a tremendous job, and I wish her the best of luck in the future. A little more free time, maybe.
Lynn?
Well, it's hard to believe that we actually started together. And, you know, we talk about different perspectives, and it's just been amazing to see your perspective as a parent, a teacher, an administrator, a consultant. And I've learned so much, and what I'll always remember about you is just the breadth of knowledge that you bring to the table. You never once would make anybody feel inferior or just seem less knowledgeable. We just absorbed everything from you, and you always did it with such grace and respect. And thank you for everything you taught me. And even at the times we disagreed, it's always been so respectful. And I will miss you on this committee, and I'm glad I have your phone number. Congratulations again, MJ.
Janet?
Thank you. What do you say after all of that? Clearly echoing everything there, but it's just been, it was really nice to have you as somebody I could go to with questions. You've always been very open, and it's just been very nice to serve on the committee with you. So thank you so much for putting up with questions and helping me along the way, and good luck with everything you do.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, I think everything was said here, but I think what's important to what Mary, I think, brought to this, all of us, over the 4 years, and some of you maybe the last 2 years, is the fact that we work as a team. We may disagree at times, but what I really appreciate is we worked as a team, and we took everybody, and that's important as we move the school system, because what you get is, some politics, you get division, and then you have nothing accomplished. We can all have our ideas and thoughts, but the important part is thinking of the kids first, and I think we have worked as a team, and I congratulate all of you, but especially Mary Jean, who really added a lot to that aspect. So with that said, we thank you for your service. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made,
Merry
second to
Christmas to
adjourn.
all.
We're adjourned.